today I want to do a video about semesters that are in Europe, all Gambian semesters that are in Europe, all semesters in different countries of the world, So I want to share a big bravo to everybody that has been investing back in the Gambia to help develop the Gambia, taking it from that standard where we used to be and taking it to the next level. Like, the reason why I'm doing this video is that the semesters out there are doing great job back here in the Gambia. Like, looking at the infrastructure of the nation, like if you look back in the days, me in my childhood days, like we used to have semesters when they come from Europe. Like normally most of our uncles and dads and grandpas those days, when they come from Europe, they normally come marry wives, come spend money, buying cars, showing off bling blings, giving out money, having children, doing naming. Yeah, Julie be personally, mashallah. We just starting another chapter in real life, more productivity. So tell us 4 day, Julie. Tonight we are gonna be going to the All Black. I had some calls with the All Black people, so we're gonna be going there. We're gonna cover the event, do some event covering tonight. Then funekani dama buga dem like be Manjai. I wanna go to Manjai, go and check up my guy, Lens Media. That is my guy, the guy that I'm working with, Mohammed Smatoma. Foofu laa war a ñëw dem ni my pare job ni maa ngi upload some videos. Dama am benn memory card bu ma doon wax noonu mooy 2 terabyte bu laa nekk di transfer ni files yi fii ay transfer files fii maa ngi upload Pablo movie am bi, trying to sign in on TikTok. So watching on Wali's new video on it. Wali's on it on YouTube. Very nice masterpiece. When it comes to live performance, So next chapter. So catch me through. Like, I'm going for a little workout, like visiting, going to check my boy Lens Media. So watch out for the video. Yeah, thank you so much. Like always, my routine bi dafa day change, Léegi nii maa suma guy doora ngoon production langu. My people are on a break, like they are enjoying their quality. That is my actors. So right now, me also, I'm gonna be doing some family visiting. Xamante ne mbokk yi nga xamante ne gëj naa leen àgg. Ñu daal di dem check si days yi nii ba balaa may start production. So xam naa ne daal by Wednesday, today is Monday. By Wednesday, we are gonna resume shooting. Then from there, we're gonna see what to do next. I'm working on a sound background for the Follow movie series. I've linked this guy. I've linked Larry J in Germany. He's working on a sound background for us. We're gonna have a review on the sound background soon. So watch out for that. So we're gonna have a review on the sound background. But me check ndax bi waaye ak tay moto yi boy ñu dem fa ñu check yëpp. We have to check on our water for living. Yeah. Boy, dema yaa ngi lost. Dema man laa call ba sona. Dama aj. Naka la? Mission si biir mission yi. Ara ma sutura la. Ba waaye naka jube enjoy nga ko?
Enjoy naa ko bu baax bay jini bi mashallah neex na
de. Dega neex na. Ba pare comme da nga gis ne at bi taxut ko tanga noonu.
Waaye for sure.
Taxut ko tanga noonu. Sedda bi. Dega ba ngi sedd xam nga. So
first 10 days rek la am lu tanga.
Waaye okay, man sax man ko doon wax si benn vidéo yi.
exactly, you know.
boy lu ma doon plan pour def yëpp.
Yeah.
xamal xew lu ma doon plan pour def yëpp mënu ma ko def dañ planoon pour génn dem show.
Yeah.
dem si antu bi dem acidic Sanyang. So after lu ñu dal mooy boy daf dee sedda so dañ dee nekk indoors ñu nekk indoors ba boori 10 11 12 rek ñu teyal ba pare second day bi antu nga fa la doon play mu ngi doon play fii nii naka la wax sax GCCI.
Yeah, for sure.
So after GCCI bi nekk antu moom dafa waroon a play boori ngoon boori 6 7.
Yeah, loolu ngay wax nii.
So ñu ne foogoon ne antu dafa play boori 12 boori 2 yooyu noonu xam nga.
Waaw.
So ñu ne woon ne suñ jógee si antu bi after ñu dem si antu bi suñ fa jógee ñu ñëw ñu relax man dama call gars yi booy antu bi Joe boori 8 yooyu noonu ma call ko ma ne ko ne naka la ban time ngeen naa perform pour mun a ñëw cover seen performance yi. mu call mu moo ma ne moom ñoom perform nañ foofu ba pare so gars yaa ngee dem Gunjur xam nga Gunjur la xam nga is it Madiana I don't know Gunjur mu ne gars yi foofu lañ war a dem after gars yi ñibbi nañ perform nañ ba ñibbi so moo tax man antu bi sax mënuma ko cover.
Respect like guddi la moo play.
waaw ndege sooy xale la.
xale yi mën na koo gis.
lu ma ne si julli bi comme like da nga gis ne artistes yu daan am big shows yu daan am big show too yi nii ak yooyu noonu léegi dafa xala switch so da nga gis ne artistes yu ndaw yi tamit ñu ngi am bookings artistes like Acidic artistes like Antu you know yeneen artistes yi ñoom S-boy kuy play nii ñoom yëpp ñu ngi am booking so loolu moo laa wane tamit xam nga industrie bi at least mu ngi switch mu ngi change you know. So if you are watching me right now, how did you spend your holiday? You know, how was your holiday? Today I want to do a video about semesters, that are in Europe. All Gambian semesters that are in Europe, all semesters in different countries of the world. So I want to say a big, bravo to everybody that has been investing back in the Gambia to help develop the Gambia, taking it from that standard where we used to be and taking it to the next level. Like the reason why I'm doing this video is that the semesters out there are doing great job back here in the Gambia. Like looking at the infrastructure of the nation, like if you look back in the days, me in my childhood days, like we used to have semesters when they come from Europe, like normally most of our uncles and dads and grandpas those days when they come from Europe, they normally come marry wives, come spend money, buying cars, showing off bling blings, giving out money, having children, doing naming ceremonies, wedding, so many things that were like abnormal, So if you compare them with the nowadays semesters, I don't discredit most of these old people that were coming those days in the 80s, the 90s, early 90s and the early 2000s. But if you compare them with the nowadays, the young youths that are traveling, coming out from Gambia, traveling to Europe, you can see a lot of difference. And the mindset of the people that are traveling now, the mind shifted from that, level of just being a semester coming to Gambia, spending money unnecessarily, spending money on women, on jewelry, unnecessary stuff. We all know how it used to go by then. When you are a semester, everybody normally praises you. You see the whole compound or a whole village or a whole town when there is a semester that comes from America or Asia, you see everybody coming to greet that person, like, every household will come and greet the person, and you will be spending money unnecessarily. I don't blame them in those days because, being a semester those days is like luxury. It's like a crown, like that crown they used to wear a semester, like a king crown, whereby when you come from Europe and comes to the Gambia, you be that king, But then right now it's kind of shifted because we have a lot of people that have coming from the Gambia traveling to Europe, so it's kind of normal to everybody. So what I want to talk about is that the buildings, the infrastructure, the buying of lands, the building of all new infrastructure in the Gambia, the real estate booming. That is where I want to talk about, because without these semesters and without many of you guys that are there, Gambia would have been the same place, like you normally see when you go to villages like towns like Talinding, Brikama, normal Sukuta, normal Bakote, normal, Joswang, normal Kanifing. Kanifing was at least the luxury place you talk about in those early 2000s, and Bursibi. But then nowadays, when you talk about, semesters that are coming, they have bought land all over the Combo South. Phony, semesters are building. You go to Jabang, Jabang Road towards Sanya and towards Brikama, you see semesters building. If you take the other road from Bursibi towards Brufut, to go to Tujereng, to go to Katong, to Gunjur, you see what semesters are building. They are investing back at home. They are making people, to be ambitious. Youth here back here to be more ambitious about their own future. So it's very, very important for us to talk about this. Because sometimes when I go out, I see buildings. I go, especially where I'm living right now at Salaji Paradise View. Those days, Salaji Paradise View was a boost. Like if they tell you to buy a land there, you would never allow nobody to give you a land there, even if it's for free. But then nowadays, Salaji is in the next level. You talk about Salaji, you talk about Paradise View, you talk about Paradise Estate, Tujereng, towards those ends, around Sibek there, Mariamakunda, all those places are filled up with compounds, with buildings, with infrastructures, amazing infrastructures. Not only infrastructure, but then they have, level up to the standard. Like there was a time when you watch Nigerian movies, you see very beautiful buildings. Gambians, you see Nigerians building a whole villa, having a big land, building a villa inside it, doing interior decorations, doing, bedroom decorations, kitchen decorations, everything like that. Now you see it in the Gambia. Like there are places when you enter a house or you enter a room, they tell you as a Gambian that has invested, have built that compound, I believe. So I want to say thank you guys. Keep up the good work that you guys are doing. It's really motivating back here. It's really, really, taking us to the next level. Because only us Gambians can build Gambia. Only us can change everything that is going on in the Gambia. Because when you talk about the government, most of the time, African governments always build the land, build the roads for you. They give you electricity. There are some amenities that the government gives you, but then they cannot build a proper landscape or a proper real estate for you to live like other countries, like in America, like China. What they are doing, like they're taking a whole land, a whole village, building real estates and selling it back to the people. It has started here by the private companies, like Sol Fraser is doing it, Swami, they are doing it. But then those kind of houses they are building is so luxurious, it's too expensive for the local people to buy. We're talking about land, we're talking about houses that are costing around 5 million per apartment, like 2 bedrooms, so it's too expensive for a normal Gambian to just achieve that. Like, kudos to everybody that is investing back home. Like, I have to say this, it's a real motivating, to see. I want to say this to you guys: keep up the good job, keep up the hard work you guys are doing. It's gonna pay off, bro. It's gonna pay off. In next 10 to 15 to 20 years, we are gonna see Gambia like Rwanda. We are gonna see Gambia like South Africa. That is the dream, bro. That is the dream. We are dreaming for Gambia. Us here, even working hard in every aspect that we are working. We wanna see a better Gambia for all of us, bro. Yeah. So let us not depend on the government to say, okay, the government is not doing this, the government is not providing this. Let us work for our personal gains, let us work for our future, because we've been living in ages here in the Gambia. Every government that comes in the Gambia, they just work certain things. It's just a repetition of the same thing. Road infrastructure, they just constructing the same road again. When the road is spoiled, they come and construct it again. They just provide some little amenities and talk about these politics. So it's not easy. It's not easy, you know. Spreading that love, you know, that unity among us, we Gambians, you know, motivate each other so that we can have the Gambia that we want, you know. Because looking at other parts of the world, just example here, Senegal. Let's take an example in Senegal. You go in Senegal, you know, no, Senegal is living in the next level of the world right now. Senegal is just like Europe, bro. Senegal, you can compare Senegal to Spain, bro. I'm sorry to say this, bro. You can compare Senegal to Italy, bro. You can compare Senegal to some other parts of the world like France. You know, some part in Senegal, bro, you step in there, bro. You know, it's an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener for most of us, you know, Gambians that are growing, that are hustling, you know, that want to level up. You know, me personally, there is a lot that Senegal, you know, made in me, you know, that, you know, there is a lot of motivation I had from Senegal. I could remember year 2013, 2012, you know, it could be 2010, you know, 2010 to 2011, 2013. The time I was going to Senegal, my first trip in Senegal to go and, you know, check for a, you know, go for a interview, for a visa interview. The moment I stepped in Dakar, bro, you know, that year, the moment I stepped in Dakar, it was like a, you know, emotional moment for me, you know, because the infrastructure I've seen in Senegal then, the way Senegal was structured, the planning, you know, the physical planning of their country, estate, the way they plan their roads, the way they, you know, the way they arrange their houses, every road is connected to a place, you know. So I was like, yo, Gambia boy, when are we gonna have this kind of infrastructure, this kind of family, this physical planning, you know, to plan our country like this? Every road is connected to somewhere, you know. So looking about Gambia, boy, looking back here, boy, physical planning need to do a lot, bro. They need to work on a lot, bro. They need to work on our physical planning of our road network, you know. Gambia, there are some places you go to, you cannot even know where to. If you go inside a street, you don't even know where to go to, because every street is just mixed up, bro. All the streets are just been mixed up. So we need to work on that, you know. We really need to work on that. I think by leveling up and having that kind of standard right now in the new real estates that they are working on, like Tujereng, looking at Tujereng around those ends, you know, Jabang, all those stuff, little estates that are been constructed. I think they are following the footsteps of those kind of, you know, physical planning road networks. You know, it's very good for us to adopt that kind of buildings right now. Combo is really big, and Gambia and Combo here too is getting populated to the extent whereby there will be a time it cannot shelter everybody that is coming from uptown and coming from outside the world to Combo here, because every Gambian wants to live in Combo. So I think the idea is we have to start building story buildings that are gonna be like 5-story buildings up, 6-story buildings up. We start sheltering people, bro. You know, we start advancing like that, because all the settlements that are in Gambia around Combo, Kanifing, all of them, they are just normal, you know, self-contained, like normal buildings of Gambian. You know, having a come some buildings in Demel, you know. So it's very important for us to think out of the box, you know, level up, bro. Let's take example from other countries that are ahead of us. You know, let us start to build like that. Try to level up our mindset and try to change the Gambia for us. You know, Gambia for a better future, you know, for our children, for our future, you know, children to survive and enjoy. You know, we are really backward, bro, in terms of infrastructure and stuff. But then kudos to all those people that are building back home, you know. Keep it up, bro. Keep it up. Yeah, we love you, you know. Yeah, much love, man. Manjara yon dina ho wa hati no Gambia. You see a popular place in Manjara. We ni bele gi fi ni. Okay, all black bi. Ken du ko wax ken. Man ela dina dem fofu non. Ela man suma ewe fofu lay def. Parce que anything man dina la tol. Dara wana baati Gambia. We're going to my boy Mohammed Smotoma in Manjai right now. Yeah. You know, Silence Media. Konyam. Agak lagi. Bawa aja Silva. Agak lagi. Namanya sih. Lens media.
Kanu follow.
Lens media. Boy, gis nga semua boy. Fii laa nekk. Def.
Kanu follow. Kanu follow.
Pagi. Coba nga semua video ini.
Kanu follow. Kanu follow te bana.
Events, all the events if you want.
Ninkano nene te ba. Kanu follow te bana. Mumeke. Inteju soko no baby, baby. Ninkano te falano is burning. Ninkano la dimba mota falano uno. Kanu follow te banga. Ninkano nene te bang. Kanu follow te bang.